We'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava and a little bit of Hare Krishna together. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. Again, thank you so much for coming. Tonight we're going to be reading from Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 14, which is entitled The Three Modes of Material Nature. And then if we have a little time, we'll also try to chant together, chant japa together. Does anyone have beads with you? I see Mataji have beads. Anyone? Anyone else has beads? You have beads. Nice. Anyone else? Okay. We have a couple of sets there. So, this is Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada's translation and commentaries. Chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. Just pull this on my phone. We'll begin. So this chapter describes the modes of nature, how they interact, how they work, how they bind us, condition us, and also the way to be okay. The way how we can how we transcend the modes, the influence of the modes of nature, by the practice of Krishna Bhakti or devotional service. So I'll begin with the first text of the chapter 14. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Parambuya Pravakshyami Gyananam Gyanam Uttamam Yagyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhi Mitogataha. So the translation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Krishna is saying here that this is the best of all knowledge, which is very interesting, because if we look at the chapter number 9, we also are going to see in the first text, and the title of chapter 9 is the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna also says, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization. So he is saying, you can say the same things here in chapter 9 and chapter 14. But the understanding between these two phrases of Krishna is that in chapter 14, we'll see that this knowledge has very practical usage. Anyone who, Srila Prabhupada says, anyone who deliberate on this, and is actually uses this term, if one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will eventually come to understanding of the importance of devotional service, or of devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that it's important to use our intelligence to contemplate on the three modes of material nature. It's essential. Of course, generally, we do not speculate on the process of bhakti. It's not recommended by our acharyas, by our teachers. But Srila Prabhupada states here that because we use our intellect for the purpose of understanding, analysis and how Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic scriptures is presented to us logically, then we should do it. We should engage in speculating. And So due to association with the modes of nature, we become entangled. In a previous chapter, chapter 13, we see a nice verse, which we'll go back and find it. This is text number 22. Yeah, 22. Krishna says that the living entity in material nature thus follows the way of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. So if we just follow in the three modes of nature and try to enjoy, associate with the material nature, then all we meet is just good and evil among various species, and nothing else. So therefore, we become entangled and we just transmigrate. Our body is constantly changing from one form to another. According to the consciousness we develop at the time of death, this is the type of body we're going to receive. So here we see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is going to explain what those modes of nature are, how they interact between each other, how they function. And the knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. So this chapter is very important because human life is meant for increase of the tattva jigyasa, of the absolute reality, and also it's meant for increasing the guna. Guna means rope, and rope means that it binds us and gives us certain qualities. And if we're bound by those ropes, we cannot disentangle ourselves. We're helpless. So therefore, we have to increase our guna, a quality of our action. And this will be explained in the Bhagavad Gita, how to practically do that for everyone. So, at the end of this commentary in the first text, Srila Prabhupada explains that one who understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection. And perfection, of course, means that we understand our relationship with the material nature, with Krishna, with his form in this life, holy name. This is how Krishna manifests in this age of Kali Yuga, with the holy name, through the holy name. So Krishna glorifies transcendental knowledge as a way to liberation, perfection. Now the second text says, by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. So this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge that Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, is actually it's transcendental to the dugunas, to the defects that living entities have. So therefore, it's called transcendental knowledge. And it's this knowledge, if we want to obtain, we have to also develop certain spiritual qualities. That's important and necessary for us living entities. So text number 3, the total material substance, called Brahman, is the source of birth. And it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living entities, O son of Bharata. And text number 4 is also connected to this one. It is said, it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-given father. So Krishna is known as Aham Bija Pradapita. So he gives the seed, he creates everything, and we are part of his superior energy. So as jivas, we eternally connected. We have eternal relationship with Krishna. And material nature gives us a particular body according to our consciousness, according to, you can say, what we deserved by our activities in life. So yes, the role of Krishna is the seed-given father. He's our father. And material nature is our mother, in this sense. So material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. Krishna is the cause. Now, text 5. Material nature consists of the 3 modes. Now we're going to hear about these modes of nature, the 3 modes of nature. Anyone knows these 3 modes by heart? I'm sure most of you do. So first one is ignorance, then passion, and what's the last one? Goodness, yeah. Sometimes people, when you show them this chapter, this text, they read it as godness. Goodness, godness. So material nature consists of the 3 modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with this, with nature, Almighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So as soon as we come to this material world, we become conditioned by the modes of nature. And then we have different kinds of bodies in terms of the different aspects of nature. And we are induced to act according to our nature. Text number 6. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. So this is speaking about the conditioning, how the modes condition us, and of course describing the first one, mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness we see that people are usually happy, very happy. But because it's not pure goodness, it's not related with Krishna, that happiness eventually is flickering. Because we're acting in the mode of goodness, materially speaking, but if we don't serve Krishna, what happens is that in order to, we want to enjoy something, right? We all want to enjoy something. And if we don't put in the center of our life Krishna, then we enjoy material nature. And that, the mode of goodness is mixed with ignorance. Because if we enjoy separately from Krishna, that means I experience ignorance. And because we have to act and do certain things, the passion is also mixed in. So therefore, goodness is not enough to become fully satisfied and happy. So yeah, we can see that materialistic people, the most successful people, might be situated in goodness, but they still always experience ignorance, they experience suffering and struggles, karshiti struggles with the mind and senses, different things. They lose, they gain things, they lose things. So that's what we experience, even situated in sattva gun. But even though it is a fact, sattva gun illuminates the body with knowledge. And from that platform we can really develop understanding of who we are. What is this life? What is this world? What are we meant to be? What are we meant to do? So that's goodness. And usually we see that the representatives of these types is doctors, scholars, teachers, brahmanas, or the priests. Those are people in the mode of goodness. This is their profession. And usually they, for the most part, they're free from acting sinfully. But there's one difficulty Srila Prabhupada explains. The mode of goodness conditions us to feel that we are advanced in knowledge, more advanced than other people. So we experience pride, we become proud of our position, social position, professional position, like that. So mode of passion, this is text number 7, is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti. And because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Most common example of the mode of passion is attraction between female and male. So, and also attraction to family life. Of course, we're not against family life, but if we are just simply trying to put a male or female as the object of our sensual enjoyment, what happens is that in the beginning it's very beautiful. It's really amazing. We really enjoy it, but at the end we suffer, because at some point Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, I'll find that verse. He says, Dayato Vishayan Pumsa, this is text 62, chapter 2, second chapter. It says, while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment develops lust. So we become attached, then develops lust. And lust, what does lust lead us? To anger. We become angry. And if we're angry, we're delusioned. Delusion arises. And from that delusion, we're bewildered. Our memory is bewildered. We do not know how to act. And eventually, intelligence is completely lost. And when there's no intelligence, we're degraded. We fall down in this material pool again and again and again into animal species of life. So this is what uncontrolled lust leads us to. And it's born in the modes of ignorance and passion. So text number 8, O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. So yes, this is the field of interest of the people situated in the mode of ignorance. They're always easily agitated, become mad, and they always like to engage in sleeping. They like to sleep for 12 hours a day sometimes. We see people sleep for that long. And they're lazy, and they take shelter in intoxications. Because when miseries arise, when we experience difficulties, we have to take shelter in something. And if we situate it in the mode of ignorance, we take shelter in intoxication. So by the way, this is quite a small chapter. It's only 27 texts. I hope we'll be able to cover it in our given time. We only have 7 more minutes. We'll try to go a little faster maybe. So, text number 9. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions one to fruitive action. And ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness. Text 10. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance. And at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there's always competition for supremacy. So yeah, this modes of nature are always mixed. And we can see that they're manifested in someone's life by the activities that he or she does in life, by the food that he or she eats, water he or she drinks, the association, places they like to go to, time of the day they like to wake up to, go to sleep. This is also can indicate the modes of nature. Now, text 11. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Text number 12. Chief of the Bharatas, when there's an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor so intensely for gaining some material things, fame, profit, adoration, different things like that. This intense endeavor and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Text 13. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Guru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. And so we see that people, they, in the mode of ignorance, they always act whimsically for no purpose, right? And they have the capacity to do right things, to work and utilize this human life properly, but they just don't do it. They're not interested in it. So therefore they act whimsically. And usually they act against the scripture. They disregard the scripture. They just create their own God and their own rules and regulations. So now we will see the effects of these modes, how they experienced by living entities, starting with text 14. And this one is speaking about death. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. When one dies in the mode of passion, this is text 15, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Text 16. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. So this is kind of a summarization. It's a famous text, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajasa lobha evacha. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. We can probably see that in our circle of interactions with the world, friends and family, we can probably indicate that some people in the mode of goodness, some people in the mode of passion, they're always greedy, they're always busy doing something, hankering, And in the mode of ignorance, we also see people like that. It's quite common. People play video games, they like to sleep a lot, and they are under the illusion that this body is mine and everything related to this body also belongs to me. And if you try to take it from me, I become mad. So this is the mode of ignorance. Now text 18. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets. And those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. Text 19. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. So now we're beginning to speak about how to transcend the modes of nature, recognizing that in all activities, just the modes are interacting. The soul, the jiva, is not doing anything, just the modes are interacting. And if we know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is behind all of this, This gives us a lot of hope to further transcend the influence of the modes of nature. And we need to transcend them. How do we do that? We need to learn from those who are already situated in that position, from Paramahamsas, from those souls who are already, they have practical experience of that. They're situated beyond the modes. So, text 20. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Srila Prabhupada explains, although one is within this material body, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can be free from the influence of the modes of nature. And hence, he can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body, because after living this body, he's certainly going to the spiritual sky. And we'll see how it's possible and through the text. Arjuna inquired, now Arjuna is asking, my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What are the symptoms of that person? What is his behavior, he's asking. And how does he transcend the modes of nature? What does he do to transcend them? Now Krishna is going to explain the qualities of those people. It's quite a long text, but we'll see. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye. It's quite difficult to achieve that, huh? If we see gold, we look at it with an equal eye. We're not disturbed, it's gold. Gold or stone, doesn't matter to me. Who is equal toward the desirable and undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. This is what Krishna wants us to aspire for eventually. So, we should become neutral to everything. This is the detachment that we should develop. And it's only possible to develop that detachment and a state of neutrality by devotional service. So therefore, text 26 and 27 conclude. Mam chayo vibhacharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatidyatam brahma bhuya kalpate. Krishna says that engage in my devotional service, but don't stop, just do it steadily, unwavering, vyabhicharena, always, just constantly do it, And then you will experience the state of Brahman realization. Brahman realization means that we are already liberated, and we can engage in pure devotional service to Krishna. Of course, at this point, it's not, if we're not Brahman realized, we can still serve Krishna through the medium of a spirit, and we always do, but at this point, a spiritual master who's a pure devotee, he can help us to offer our imperfect service to Krishna. So, the next text, I did list some notes here, but for the sake of time, Krishna says, he says, Brahmana hi pratishtaham, that I am the basis of this impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So Brahman realization is our real position, in which we experience our real nature, Satchitananda Vigraha, eternal life, bliss, and happiness. So by engagement in devotional service, in full Krishna consciousness, he is immediately situated in transcendental position, and his unlawful desire to control material nature, they are removed. And that should be practiced, of course, under able guidance with the Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees. And that service is very simple. We learn from Prahlad Maharaj, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam. We just chant and hear, take prasadam, and do something to please our spiritual master devotees. We do a little service. So if we do these things, for instance, it is mentioned here that we see the places where the Lord has his transcendental pastimes, read different activities of the Lord, and then reciprocate in loving exchanges with devotees, then chant Hare Krishna mantra, and observe different fasting days, So by following such process, one becomes completely detached from activities, material activities. And then we can attain that realization, Brahman realization. And so, to conclude, this chapter speaks about how the modes of nature, they bind us. It's very difficult to get out. It's practically, it's impossible without the mercy, the kripa of the spiritual master in Krishna. So in order to get out of these modes, we need to accept that we helpless without Krishna's mercy. And so by bhakti, by Krishna bhakti, by engaging in activities, Shravanam, hearing, chanting, associating with devotees, it gives us hope. And we can transcend the influence of modes of nature. So this is the conclusion. And I'll mention in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's an example of Lord Brahma, who was questioned by his 4 sons, 4 Kumaras. They were also speaking about the similar topic, how to get liberated from the modes of nature. And Lord Brahma is a co-creator of all the universal affairs. So he has a tinge of passion, So he couldn't answer this question. So Hamsa, Lord in the form of Hamsa, he came and explained that by worshipping the Lord in the mood of being his eternal part and parcel, one is infused with the Lord's internal potency. And that potency, that infusion, drives away the ignorance and darkness. And so what is that? How do we do that practically? By engaging in chanting, japa meditation, and kirtan together with devotees. So yesterday was the disappearance of one of our great acharyas, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who in many ways helped to reestablish many of the scriptures, and also the movement itself. He saved it from being lost. And he wrote a book, it's called Sri Harinam Chintamani, which speaks about how to chant properly and avoid offenses. And in this book, he mentioned a very interesting thing. So he said that if we want to cultivate Krishna consciousness and chanting, we have to follow 3 things. That's the formula. First thing is sadhusanga, associating with like-minded people who have also inclination and interest in Krishna consciousness, and do it steadily. And second thing is asatsanga, just avoid association with people who have nothing but material desires, opulence and enjoyment. This is they feel the interest. So avoid that type of association. Because if we associate with these people, their qualities and interests and desires will unfortunately enter into our consciousness. Because consciousness is like a sponge. It always absorbs things, And the third thing that he mentioned is that we need to have determination. Dharyat. Nishchayat. Utsaha nishchayat dharyat. This is very important for devotees. We have enthusiasm and determination and patience. Just like when we enter the family life. And for instance, a wife, she wants to have children. But you can't just say that, let's have children right away. Let's do it just right now. We have to be a little patient. But determination is there. So, of course, in family life, we have to establish everything at first. We have to start, get an apartment together, a house together, properly situate ourselves, and make sure we can really afford having a child, and we're ready for it. So similarly, as a woman, she's desiring, but if she has patience and determination to have children, eventually they will have children if that desire is there. So simply, if we want to practice bhakti, we have to have patience, but be determined that Krishna is my best wisher. He is wishing me well. He's maintaining my life and protecting me fully. So if I absorb myself in devotional service, serving the devotees, chanting the holy name, and trying to uplift others who are maybe not very familiar in this practice, and try to help them. In this way we can advance and please Krishna, get Krishna's mercy. So, yeah, this is the way that is described in Harinam Chintamani, how we can cultivate Krishna consciousness and specifically chanting. And the benefit of chanting, if we do it without offenses and ignorance, without darkness, without wishing liberation or any personally motivated desires, I'll read it to you. And then we can maybe chant together one round of japa. So this is called namabhas, when we simply just want to, we have faith in Krishna and we simply want to please Him. Abhas means it's a glimpse, it's a little light of that pure name that we're striving for. And so it's compared to the clouds. When they obstruct the sun, we cannot fully see the sun, but the sun still glazes through here and there. The clouds are moving. So this is the benefit. Let's see. The effects of chanting the Namabhas. And of course, we're not striving for these effects. We're striving to develop full prema, love of God. But just to mention, just so we can have that in mind. By chanting at this stage, all anxieties will go and peace can be obtained. That's the first thing, right? Evil influences of ghosts and demons, spirits, and unfavorable planets are also nullified. Even the residents of hellish planets can achieve liberation by chanting the Namabhas. Namabhas destroys the effects of sinful activities already committed. Whatever we've committed, it destroys it. And Namabhas is more powerful than the Vedas and all holy places, it is described. It surpasses all materialistic pious activities of karma kanda. So, if anyone would like to join me for chanting, we'll chant a round of japa right now. We should just keep or try to keep in our mind that we're influenced by ignorance, different types of ignorance, and also we have different aparadhas, which offenses and things that are stopping our spiritual progress. So when we chant, we should be in the mood of completely humble and dependent on Krishna's mercy. And our goal in chanting is to chant and hear every syllable and try to please Krishna. Because by chanting, we're calling Krishna's names, just like when someone's calling you name. If they are not attentive and if they're not calling properly, if they're mispronouncing, we're not very pleased by it. Or sometimes people forget our name. That's also not very pleasing. So by chanting in this intention, in the mood of Sambandha Gyan, that I have an eternal relationship with Krishna, but I've forgotten it. So now let me be sincere and serious to remember you and to call upon you with complete dependence. So we can start chanting together. If anyone like to join us and grab, I think it's 1 or 2 beats there. But if not, you can just close your eyes and just chant the holy name with us. There's also the Mahamantra over here you can follow. It's going to take us about 10 minutes. Do we have time for that? Okay, let's do 5 minutes. We'll track. It's getting a little late. So we'll start a little slow, but then increase the speed gradually. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, We can stop here. Hare Krishna. And just to conclude, chanting in association with devotees is very blissful. Doing anything with devotees is very blissful. So we should try to aspire as much as we can to associate with devotees. And if we can't do that, we can also associate with devotees online, even with Srila Prabhupada, through Vani, through association, through his recorded audios, his books, like that is also possible. And we have recordings of Srila Prabhupada's japa, chanting. So we can also do that. Avoid association of non-devotees and try to have determination in chanting. These things will definitely help us in our spiritual life. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I look forward to seeing you again and chanting with you more. If anyone have any questions, maybe we can. I'll stay here for a little bit outside of this Sangha, outside of this class. Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Once again, please return the Gita and beads on these tables. We take care of the rest. Prasadam is served